Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. This particular kind of essay, which is the one word essay, it comes for ISC class 11 and 12. तो ये उनके लिए है. But for those of you who are fond of reading quality stuff, fond of writing an argumentative kind of essay, or even essays which kind of talk about a particular thought, would do well to listen to this very short video. This particular topic, photographs, has come in one of the, I think, specimen paper or a PYQ, I think specimen paper, and I found it a very fascinating topic. Photographs. वन वर्ड ऐसे में एक चीज का ध्यान हमेशा रखना है. ओके, एंड दैट इज व्हाट आई हैव स्पोकन अबाउट इन दिस बुक इन डिटेल. द थिंग दैट यू नीड टू बेयर इन माइंड इज दैट व्हेन यू सी अ वर्ड लाइक फोटोग्राफ्स, सिर्फ फोटोग्राफ्स के बारे में नहीं लिखना है कि जो दिखता है, कि इट इज ऑफ पेपर, आजकल डिजिटल भी मिलता है एंड ऑल दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग. You need to go analyze and go deep into the metaphorical meaning of a word like photographs. That what do photographs mean to you? What do they symbolize, right? So you need to go into that in detail. So only if you are capable of doing that, you should attempt this kind of this kind of an essay topic. But since some of you want to do that, I'm doing this for you. There are more essays in this one. Plus, of course, this particular book, which is selling at a discounted price, this is something which I strongly advise you should get hold of immediately. ISC class 11 and 12 ke liye, for this kind of format, yes, but even for ICSE class 11 and 12, lots of narrative, descriptive and argumentative stories, essays in this particular book. So please go and get it. It's available on Amazon. So let's get started. The creation of a photograph is a work of physics, है ना? That's what you have read in your physics chapter. It's essentially a play of light, right? So it's a work of physics along with those lenses, with the interplay of light, shadows, and colors creating magic. That's what. And I've used immediately, you see the choice of words. I've used the word magic because some photographs are indeed magical. They capture a moment and they create magic with the interplay of light, shadows, and colors, right? However, at a philosophical level, it is unquestionably a masterpiece because it is capturing a very, very deeply personal moment. When you consider the added element of preserving precious memories forever, it transforms any piece to the highest form of literature. So you see, I have talked about photographs as a form of literature. They say, no, a picture is worth 1,000 words, which is why in journalism, we don't call, there is the reporter, the editor, the journalist who write. There are the photographers. But if you see, of late, the term which is used for the photographer is the photojournalist. He or she is also a journalist because he or she is telling a story by capturing that moment in a photograph or in a series of photographs. So they are also journalists of a different kind, the visual journalist, right? So that's why you've used the word literature. So because if you get that kind of a photograph which kind of freezes in time a particular moment, absolutely, it is nothing less than literature. In a nutshell, they are a window to the past. Let me say this about myself. I think it's a beautiful phrase. It is a window to the past. You open the window and you're able to see something which has happened in flashback, in past tense. Exquisite expressions of artistic vision, because a photographer will always say कि light कहाँ से आ रही है? Am I getting the right frame? Am I able to capture the moment properly? And a handy tool for documentation of a moment. It could be the World War, it could be a peace treaty, it could be a handshake between two powerful leaders, it could be of two leaders who are looking away from each other, all kinds of. You remember that photograph where Indira Gandhi is sitting? It's a black and white photograph from the 60s where Indira Gandhi as a young prime minister is sitting, and there are a whole lot of men, about 20-25 men, who are all standing in attendance. It kind of, that photograph said a lot, right? Or there could be photographs from the cricket field, a famous moment when Sunil Gavaskar reached 10,000 runs in Ahmedabad, and he kind of, waved his bat like this in a hurry because he was the first person to climb the 10,000 run summit. Or when Sachin Tendulkar overtook Sunil Gavaskar, or Sachin Tendulkar hit his 100th international century. So, these are all moments, or from film shootings, whatever, right? Photographs are stories without words. So when you write this kind of an essay and this kind of language, is there a single difficult or complicated word? No. What is required is, how do you mix those words? How do you marry words in order to make a sentence which is a very nice turn of phrase? Pictures are stories without words. A time machine has always been an object of fancy for many. Why? And a trend for science fiction writers. Photographs are nothing less than a time machine because they also transport you to the past. Time machine takes you to the future. Photographs take you to the past, right? So they are also a time machine, but of a different kind. Are nothing less than a time machine with the ability to transport anyone to another time in an instant, stirring in our mind with memories both happy and sad. That is perhaps why pre-wedding photo shoots, because now you have pre-wedding photo shoots, maternity shoots, even divorce shoots, photo shoots have become a trend. The idea is to capture that moment so that it is possible to return to them, to relive that occasion in the mind forever and share those stories. So you see, the topic is photograph, but I am kind of giving you different aspects, looking at something. So it's a topic which is there in the center. You need to look at it from a 360-degree angle, right? I hope you're enjoying listening to this, reading this as much as I enjoyed writing this. In the broader context of a society and a nation, photographs of significant historical events or renowned figures become part of our shared heritage. Interesting phrase. Influencing our perspective on history and shaping our identity. Celebrated photojournalists like Raghu Rai. Now I've tried to kind of give examples to make it more relatable. Photographs are taken by photographers. So you need to talk about the men and women behind the lens as well. India's first woman photojournalist Homai Vairawala and Pulitzer Prize winner Danish Siddiqui have deeply influenced the way we see the India in the past and the present. Raghu Rai, I mentioned specifically because Raghu Rai's photographs is what people like me grew up with. His photographs in the India Today magazine were like, I still have those old India Today copies which are preserved mainly for those photographs. Nothing else. The Bhopal tragedy photograph of a boy who has been buried, but just his face with his eyes being shown, those are photographs which are etched in memory. I can remember that photograph right now. So, which is why, people like a Raghu Rai, otherwise you may think he's just a photographer. He was a celebrated photojournalist. Beyond documentation and memory, photography is also a powerful medium of artistic expression. So now I'm going beyond news. Photographers use light, composition, and perspective to convey emotions, narratives, and abstract concepts. The digital cameras, and now I come to the modern era where digital cameras have replaced the real photographs. Cameras. The digital cameras have now democratized the world of photography. Why am I using the word called democratize? It's a great word which you should use in your compositions. Democratize means everyone can be a photojournalist now. Anyone and everyone with a mobile camera, with a good quality smartphone, has the ability to capture a moment at any time wherever he or she is. So in that sense, it is not the preserve of people with those big cameras only. Even you with a smartphone can capture a moment. It may not be the best quality in terms of lighting, shadows, color, etc. But you're still capturing a moment and therefore able to tell a story, right? The digital cameras have now democratized the world of photography, allowing anyone to capture images. Photographs are now an integral part of the craft of storytelling. Interesting phrase. Craft is always one of my favorite words. And the way we interact in the online space. Some guy wrote, ऐसे ऐसे तो चैट जीपीटी पे मिल जाते हैं, जरूर मिल जाते होंगे. In fact, I used to tell my daughter, the problem is that my way of this thing, people will think chat GPT say because I write naturally like that, right? But if you put chat GPT, do you think you'll be able to, if that is not your natural way of writing, how would you remember and be able to write it in the examination hall? So if you are the kind of person, and let me say this to everyone in the present generation, if you are the kind of person who is putting everything down in chat GPT, even to write an essay, letter, email, whatever, trust me, you are killing the writer in you. And most of us make this mistake. We follow, we focus on the physics, the mathematics, the chemistry, the biology, the commerce, the economics, the accountancy. Please focus on your communication and soft skills, because that's what makes the difference between somebody, because everybody will have a degree, sab mein 19-20 ka antar hoga, but unless you are able to express yourself in words, you will be an also ran. You will not be able to make the final lab, because the soft skills are what companies today are looking for. People are looking for leaders. People are looking for people, those who can do public speaking with a lot of confidence, with the right kind of modulation of voice, diction, in any language, not just in English, in any language. But the fact of the matter is, you need to work on these communication skills. And if you are going to depend on tools like ChatGPT at your age, trust me, you are only harming yourself. So don't do this. Write yourself, you will improve over a period of time. However, technology comes with the downside too. In a world filled with paparazzi, now I have gone into the world of paparazzi, because if you see, there is this guy called Viral Bayani in Bombay, who keeps shooting all these celebrities coming out of the gym, out of a restaurant, airport pictures, everything. They're all the paps, right? And intrusive cameras, personal privacy has become a casualty. The ability to edit images. Now I'm getting into the world of social media. The ability to edit images has meant what you see is often not what it is. Digital images are altered and manipulated, whether it is done innocently with the intention of enhancing their appearance on social media with all those, filters. You can keep making yourself look fairer, make yourself look thinner. All those kind of things also happen, right? You must be knowing better than me. On Instagram or Facebook, some people do it with the purpose of avoiding negative feedback or intentionally misrepresenting oneself to tarnish the other person's reputation. In the dark world of fake images, ethics have become outdated. And now I come to the topic of AI images, because that's also photographs. One sees, all those, very beautifully done AI, and I wonder how correctly they get the nuance of the features, different features and different expressions, some of them being done very well. Photographs can now be taken without pressing a button. In the world of AI, apps can create almost real images, rendering the eyes and mind of a photographer obsolete. Take a moment to think about the photo studio photographer. In fact, I thought of the photo studio in my neighborhood. Most of the time he has no work. Nobody comes to him except when you have to click a photograph for a passport or something of the sort. Waiting in vain for anyone wanting family portraits or passport-sized photographs. This trade is now a thing of the past, with its obituary already written. So you're talking about photographs. So you see, just a topic, photographs, but I have given a 360-degree view. AI images, news photography, what does photograph mean, the metaphorical meaning, the narrative meaning, everything out there, the paparazzi. So you've talked about everything. So it's a very comprehensive look at the topic of photographs. Now, the same topic, why I'm saying this to class 9 and 10 students also, because the same topic can be mixed up and asked as an argumentative story. That photograph, paparazzi should be banned, argue for or against, right? Or photographs should not be allowed. Photographs invade the privacy of a very private moment, right? So you should not allow, right? So would you agree or not? So the same topic, the same kind of points, you can also tweak into an argumentative essay, which is why I'm saying all these topics that have been written out here, the same content can be tweaked into different forms as a narrative. It could be an original story or a narrative story about a photographer. The same kind of content you can use out there also, narrative essay or a descriptive essay about my friend who creates beautiful AI images, or I saw a descriptive this thing about a photographer who I saw at work during the marriage. Much of this content you can actually use in an essay of that kind. So that is exactly my intention. So my advice is try writing yourself. Please do not depend on ChatGPT. Without ChatGPT also you can write beautiful English. It's a matter of time. Read more, write more, speak more. You will improve instead of just writing something on the day of the examination. That's what you need to focus on. Okay. Tata, bye bye. Thank you very much. Namaskar.